Hi everyone, my name is John Cottrell and I'm at 21st Yoga in Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm going to be teaching a Power 1 class with you this time around, and I want you to join me if you can. We're going to be focusing on balancing, so some fun dynamic balancing postures like tree pose, half moon, and some other ones I'm going to throw in there too. So some prompts you might want to use. I like to use a couple of blocks. That way, when we're doing some of our poses, we actually bring the floor a little closer to you. So a couple of blocks or any other type of props that you can use to perhaps set up something like this at the top of the mat. I'm just going to keep those right there, ready to go when we're ready for those particular poses. All right, let's start in mountain pose. We'll begin our practice together. So I invite you to stand with your feet about hip distance apart with your toes pointing forward. Feel free to close your eyes, take a journey inside of self, and you can do that by focusing on your breath. We like to take these first few moments of our practice just to tune in, prepare ourselves, but mainly to be more present, connected, and aware. Feel the steadiness of your breath. As you breathe in, feel the lifting and lengthening of your spine, but feel the breath rise to fill up your lungs. And a slow and controlled exhale. Just these slow, deep breaths. You can also take the time as you prepare for your practice, not only tuning into your breath, but setting a personal intention for yourself. Since we're working with balance today, you may want to think about what balance means for you. Maybe what parts of your life right now is needing balance if you're feeling a little unsteady, not fully connected. Maybe this grounding practice while practicing balance can help you to feel more centered. Let's take 3 more slow, deep breaths as we now prepare our bodies to move. Again, feel the breath rising to fill up your lungs. As you exhale, you might engage your abdominal lock, just drawing your navel inward towards your spine, just feeling strong in your center. When you're ready, inhale and extend your arms overhead. Just treat it like a nice stretch, reach all the way up. Exhale, let's fold forward, so a good hinge from your hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to as you make your way downward towards your toes. Inhale, slide your hands up to your knees or thighs and extend your spine so your torso is parallel to the ground. Then exhale, let's fold again. We'll just hold here for a few breaths, just allowing some lengthening, some stretch in the hamstrings. Some of our postures today will involve some hamstring stretch, so this should feel good as a nice warm-up. Feel free to loosen up the upper body if you'd like, and just hang heavily forward here. Maybe shake your shoulders, big circles with your shoulders if you'd like. Nice release. Go ahead and inhale again. Slide your hands back up to your knees or your thighs and extend your spine. Feel the top of your head lead you forward. Exhale, let's come back down. Now, you can bend your knees enough to touch your toes, but you can also just pause right here if you'd like. Or your hands are just resting lightly on your shins. Go ahead and lean back into your heels, bend your knees, and we'll inhale to come back up to a standing position. Another nice stretch here at the top, big stretch. Exhale, bring your palms together and back down to your heart. Let's do that once again, our half salute to the sun. Inhale, extend your arms into the air, big stretch. Exhale, leading with your heart, fold forward with bent knees, just guiding your way down. Inhale, slide your hands up to your knees, maybe your thighs if you need to extend your spine. Nice and long, parallel to the floor. And fold again, exhale. Hang heavily forward here, maybe some more circles in the shoulders.
A little shake of the head. Just a nice release. Even feel free to maybe just sway your upper body left and right, something like this. Just to release your low back. And a nice deep sigh. And go ahead and lean back into your heels. Bend your knees. We'll inhale. Come back up to a standing position. Reach even higher. Exhale. Bring your palms together and back down to your heart. Let's just pause here. We'll take a few breaths in and out. Good. It's a nice warm-up for our practice. Let's go ahead and add on. We're going to continue and move into our full sun salutation. Inhale, extend your arms into the air. Exhale, fold forward. A good hinge from hips. Always okay to bend your knees. Guide your way down. Inhale, rise up halfway. We'll call that monkey pose. Exhale, bend your knees enough to place your palms on the mat this time and step back into plank pose. Let's take a breath in right here. Exhale, lower yourself down. You can even bring knees to the floor first if you need to. Coming down to Chaturanga Dandasana. This first time we'll come all the way down to the floor. Roll the shoulders back and just press into the floor and just barely lift your upper body. Really lengthen through your legs. Point your toes behind you. Feel your shoulder blades squeeze together behind you as well. Nice long neck. No need to lift your head like this. Just tip the head down so your neck is neutral. This is a low cobra position. Take a breath in. As you exhale, you might press back up to hands and knees. Curl your toes. Then lift your knees and hips into the air. Downward facing dog. We'll pause for a moment as we pedal the feet. Press one heel down, then the other. Stretching through the calf muscles, the soles of your feet. And as you lift your heels, you'll feel a stretch through your toes. Take your time with that and get a nice lengthening sensation. And come back to neutral, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. And exhale, bend your knees, walk, step, or jump. Both feet returning to the top of your mat. Inhale, rise up halfway, back to our monkey pose. Exhale, fold. Roll back into your heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive, coming all the way back up, reaching into the air. This exhale will move right into chair pose or Utkatasana, just sitting back, something like this. Breathe in. And the exhale, guide out of your seat, back down towards your toes, forward fold. Inhale, rise up halfway, long spine. Exhale, bend your knees, hands to the mat, step or walk both feet back, plank, come right down to Chaturanga Dandasana. This time we'll hover over the floor, pull forward, press down into the mat, straightening your arms, heart and head forward, creating your upward facing dog. As you exhale, moving into downward facing dog. Go ahead and inhale, extend right leg up, reaching back behind you. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat. Left heel turns to the floor behind you with that weight shift back into that back foot so you're balanced on both feet. Extending your arms out to the side or forward to extend the spine. Hinge from hips, rising up to a warrior one. Let's keep it moving. Exhale, fold, bringing hands back down to the mat. Let's step back into plank pose. Come right down as you like, Chaturanga Dandasana. You can always do Cobra pose again, or move right up into upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right away to the other side. Inhale, extend left leg up, reaching back. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. Right heel turns to the floor, shifting weight back behind you. Rising when you're ready, extended spine, arms in the air facing forward. Warrior one. And our exhale to fold again, hands back down. Let's step back, plank pose. Complete your series. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take a few breaths here, pausing. You can just hold the position. Or again, pedal the feet. Let's go ahead and bring knees to the floor. We're going to pause here on hands and knees for a moment for our next pose. Let's continue warming up the spine, cat and cow. So you'll inhale, lift head and heart, arching the back a little bit so it creates a little back bend feel. Exhale, round your spine, chin to chest. Tuck your tailbone underneath, nice rounded back body. That's cat. Inhale, looking forward, arching the back, cow. Exhale, round it out. Do that again, one more time. Inhale, looking forward for cow. Exhale, round into cat. We're going to hold this rounded position. Your belly button should be pulling up towards spine, kind of this carved out, hollowed out feeling in the belly. We're still breathing, but we've just engaged the abdominal lock. Hold here for a second. And gently shift your weight into your right hand and right knee. We're going to extend the left leg back. You can even keep the toes on the floor for a moment, but extend the leg. And then lift the foot just barely off the floor, just a couple of inches. Now my head is tucked down, chin to chest, but start to lift the head a little bit, but just so that your gaze is directly downward, just to lengthen through the neck and spinal column. Then slowly extend right arm forward, reaching, nice extension. So we've taken that curvature out of the spine and we're reaching in these opposite directions. We really want to feel that expression of the body. Really reach to the right hand, reach back to the left foot, and be aware if you've lifted those limbs too high. That creates that back bend that we really don't want at this moment. We're just going to keep it down a little bit. Core connected. There's even a squeezing in sensation with those lifted limbs and even the limbs on the ground. Spinal balance. Let's go ahead and bring those limbs back down. We'll take a little break here just by sitting back onto the haunches here. You can even just circle the wrists, and that's a lot of pressure on the wrists. It's a force flexed sensation on the hands here. So feel free to maybe just rotate the hands, something like this. Even press the tops of the hands together in a little gentle sway. Okay. You can do that anytime, whenever you feel like we've been on the hands too long, like plank pose or cat and cow, for example. You can do something like this just to rest. All right, we need to do the other side. So let's come back to our little tabletop posture here, hands and knees. Let's go back to cat and cow to prepare. Inhale, lift head and heart. There's cow. Exhale, round. Cat. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, cow. Little back bend. Exhale, round. Hold this rounded sensation, hollowed out belly, navel drawing up towards spine. Gently lean into left hand and left knee. Let's extend the right leg back for the moment to keep the toes on the floor, just to ensure that leg is extended. And then just barely lift the toes off the floor. We don't want to lift it too high just yet. Now again, the chin is tucked in towards chest. Lift the head a little so your gaze is directly downward, lengthening through the neck. Then we'll extend left arm forward. That should straighten out the spine without creating the back bend. Keep belly drawn up, extending dynamically through the front hand and that back foot, squeezing to center line. This is our spinal balance. So this is one of our first balancing poses. We're just doing it down here on the ground. This does take a lot of balance and core work. Let's breathe in just for one more extension. Exhale, we'll bring those limbs back down. Let's do another quick break, sitting back into hero pose in a little circle of the wrists. You feeling okay? Alrighty, we're just getting things warmed up. We're just going to keep adding our balancing positions. Let's return to downward facing dog. Here we go. Take a nice breath in. And the exhale, walk, step, or jump. Both feet return to the top of the mat. Extend your spine. Exhale, fold. Weights in the heels, soft knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Come up to standing, reaching into the air. Exhale, hands return to your heart. Take a couple of breaths in and out. Very nice. All right, our next balancing pose, tree pose. Let's start with the right foot on the floor. Just shift your weight over to the right foot. Feel the foot root down firmly into the floor, very strong. You'll feel your thigh muscle engage. Feel tall here, a nice lengthened spine. Breathing in to feel the breath rise to fill up your lungs. Exhale, core connected. Establishing readiness for your balance. Float your left foot up. Bend your knee, even a flexed foot here, just to keep the legs strong. We're swinging the knee out to the side, opening up through the hip, placing foot on the inside of your standing leg. We have three options. You can place the toes on the floor like so, just in case you need a little extra stability for this balance.
or placing foot on the calf muscle. That's where I typically place my foot. You can also bring this foot higher to inner thigh. And even press firmly into the inner thigh since it's a stronger muscle. What I would suggest is to not place the foot on the knee. We don't want to put any extra pressure on the knee joint. So either go below the knee on the calf area or above the knee, inner thigh. Whenever you're ready, you'll inhale, take your arms up into the sky. Nice big stretch. Let's see if we can hold this for a few breaths. Here, you'll also want to focus on something out in front of you. It might be an object on the floor. It might be an object across the room. Very nice. Let's breathe in and breathe out one more time. All right, let's swing that knee forward. Lift your knee with the flexed foot. Let's place the foot back down onto the mat and bring hands back to heart center. Good. Feel free to shake all of that out. Just to loosen up through the shoulders, taking any tension away after being in that first balancing position. Go ahead and shift weight. When you're ready, shifting weight into now the left foot, root down into the floor, very strong. Lengthen spine, core connected, exhale. Then when you're ready, float your right foot up, bending your knee. We'll swing the knee out to the side. It's a nice hip opener there too. Placing the foot on the inside of the standing leg. Again, my default is my calf. You can go lower, touching the ground with the toes, calf or inner thigh. Press firmly into the bigger muscle if you happen to have it up that high. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and sweep the arms out and up, breathing in, reaching up, a nice lifting sensation. And our exhale, engaging navel to spine. This is our core center. This is what's really helping us with our balance. Finding the center is a way of connecting, grounding even though we're working this part. A couple more breaths. It's okay if you wiggle or wobble, even if you step out of the pose, losing your balance. It's all a part of the practice. Whenever you're ready, let's swing that knee forward. Lift your knee with a flexed foot. We'll plant the foot back down into the floor and go ahead and sweep the arms back down, completing that series. And shake this out. Roll the shoulders. You can even do that little rotation in the wrists again. Even shake out the hips and knees. There you go. Alrighty. Back to mountain pose. Let's continue our flow together. Here we go. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward, moving at your own pace. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, bend your knees, hands to the floor, walk or step back. You can even hop back into plank pose. Come down if you'd like, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's inhale, extend right leg up. Let's open the hip here. Bend your knee. Bring the heel down towards your backside. Lifting the knee will create a hip opener. As we exhale, we'll unwind. Step right foot to the top of the mat. Left heel turns to the floor, shifting weight back into that foot for balance. Rising up. Warrior one. Exhale, here's our warrior two. Let's pause for a moment. We're going to take this to the feet a little wider, just a little bit. Finding our center here. Warrior two. Let's reverse the warrior. Take the right hand up into the air. Now you can even choose where you actually reach. It might be somewhat forward like this, and that might keep the torso relatively level like this. You might reach straight up towards the ceiling. And you can see the torso starts to bend naturally as you reach up. You might even bend more as you reach overhead. For a little extra support, especially if you are going to reach backward like this, placing the left hand on the hip and actually some extra press, an effort of pressing inward to support the pelvis so you can take this minor back bend. Let's come back up to a warrior two. Let's straighten the right leg. We're going to move into triangle pose. Now in our warrior two, we took the feet wide. For triangle, you can actually bring the feet a little closer together, like so. Now, we're going to reach out over that straight right leg. Be sure it's straight. Feel that hamstring stretch. Rotate the arms. Now here, you don't have to go down all the way. I rarely do. My hand usually ends up by my knee or thigh, maybe just below that. You might even have a block. You can bring in one of your blocks and maybe place your hand on a block if you're a little bit closer to the floor. But mainly just getting some length through the hamstring. Like I mentioned, some of our balancing today will be involving our hamstrings. All right, coming out of the pose, we're going to bend the right knee. Coming back up through a warrior two, a quick reversed warrior reach. Now a windmill, bringing your hands down to the floor and just step back into down dog. Just sweep the foot back, hips into the air. Here we are, downward facing dog, both feet on the ground. Other side. Inhale, extend left leg up, reach, bend, and twist. Lift the knee for a hip opener. As we exhale, let's unwind. Bring left foot to the top of the mat. Warrior one, right heel turns to the floor. Here we're establishing balance. Weight on both feet, lifting arms, warrior one. Exhale, here's our warrior two. I'm going a little wider, just so we can really settle into this nice hip opening and heart opening of our warrior two. We're going to reverse our warrior, taking left arm up into the air. Again, choose where you'd like to reach, somewhat forward, straight up, or even behind you. I like to use my right hand in this case to really support the pelvis if I decide to take this minor back bend like so. It's a side bend, but I think it resembles a back bend. All right, let's come back up to our warrior two. Let's prepare for triangle. We're straightening the front leg. We can shorten the distance between the feet. Reach out over that straight left leg. Rotate. And here we are. Maybe take your gaze upward past right hand. Breathing deeply. Even breathing into the spaces where you really feel sensation. I can feel this in my hips or the lower portion of the side bodies, and certainly the hamstring. Coming out of the pose, let's bend the left knee. Here, return to your warrior two, but a quick reversed warrior, just continuing the flow. Windmill, bring both hands down to the floor, step the left foot back, hips into the sky, downward facing dog. Another lunge sequence. Inhale, re-extend right leg straight up into the air. Exhale, right foot to the top of the mat. Hold here for a second. You can even bring left knee to the floor for a moment. This is where you might want to use your blocks. I'm going to bring my blocks in just a little closer like so. Like this. Hands on those lifted blocks. Lifting that back knee. So I'm in this runner's lunge, but I'm much higher up. And we're going to go into another balance. I'm just going to start shifting my weight forward. You can even walk the blocks forward, something like this. Lifting the left foot up into the air. Really extending through that back foot. Active toes. There's a slight bend in my right knee. Lengthen through the torso. And that's why the blocks come in handy here, because it gets you away from the floor. You can even rise up to fingertips on the blocks and really get a good extension. It actually creates a little bit more space in this little section between the torso and this extended leg. You can keep the hands or fingertips on your blocks, but we're moving toward warrior three, which is another balancing pose. Here's some variations. One, just keep the hands where they are. Or bring a hand to your thigh, even two hands to your thigh. If you push into the thigh, it allows you to really extend your torso even more. You can extend one arm forward. Here's my left arm going forward with the right hand still on the thigh. And maybe extending both arms. Warrior three. Inhale. Exhale, bring the hands back down to the floor or blocks. Let's bend this left knee. Bring it in towards chest, rounding the spine. Very much like cat pose when we were on our hands and knees. Set the foot onto the floor. Weights back into the heels. Let's bend the knees. And come back up to a standing position, reaching into the sky. Exhale, hands down to your heart. All righty. Nice deep breaths in and out. Let's get ready for the other side. We have a whole lunge sequence to go through. Here we go. Inhale, reach into the air. Exhale, swan dive.
Inhale, monkey pose. Exhale, hands to the floor. You can just step back into plank pose. Take a shortcut to down dog. Just bend your knees, hips into the air. Ready for the other side. Inhale, extend left leg straight up and back. Exhale, left foot to the top of the mat. Let's bring those blocks back in. I like to bring them in close at first so you can easily rise up. And you can see it takes that extension. Actually, takes the roundedness out of the back to help extend. And it lifts you up. Then we can just use these like walking sticks and shift the body forward so we can get the weight into the left foot and lift the right leg up into the air. Just use those blocks for balance. Really good extension through that lifted leg. Some bend in the knee. I'm going to straighten up it just a little bit as I now rise up to fingertips on the blocks, extending the spine. Parallel to the floor. Stay just like this. Or one hand, maybe two hands to thigh, extending. Be sure to use your abdominal lock, navel to spine to hold your pose. Extending one arm, maybe two. That's warrior 3. Inhale and exhale. Let's bring the hands back down to the floor or blocks. Bend the right knee, bring it in towards chest or chin, rounding spine. Bring your foot down next to the other. Weights in the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Come all the way back up to standing. Reach up, big stretch. Exhale, hands return down to your heart. Feel free to shake all of that out. All right, some good balancing work. So we've added another balancing pose. That was our warrior 3. All right, we're going to add another one, of course. Next one's going to be half moon. Let's go ahead and flow through this. I'll help you get there. Here we go. Let's just keep that body in motion. Inhale, extend your arms up. Exhale, swan dive. Go at your own pace. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, bend knees, hands to the floor. Hop or step back or walk back. Plank, come down if you'd like. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, extend right leg up. Bend and twist open. As we exhale, unwind, bring right foot to the top of the mat. Let's go for a warrior 1. Left heel turns to the floor. Rising up. Warrior 2. Let's take a side angle pose. I'm going to widen my stance here a little bit, reach forward, and rotate the arms. This is really going to help us prepare for our half moon position because we're almost going to be doing the exact same thing like this, except we're going to be balancing on this front leg. We want to feel this nice opening through the front body, arms extending. Okay, here we go. Breathe in. Exhale, we're going to turn. Bring the hands to the floor. We're going to bring those blocks back in. Rise up on the tiptoes behind you. A little push to rise up to balance. Step those blocks forward if you're using them. Now let's get ready for that half moon. We're going to start with that lifted leg. Flex the foot. Flex. Because it will activate this whole leg and start lifting the leg straight up towards the ceiling. As it lifts, it naturally turns the pelvis, turns you sideways. Pelvis, low belly, chest, and then your shoulders will stack. Extending left arm up into the air. Here's our half moon. So like I said, it's kind of similar to that warrior 2, our side angle pose. Opening up sideways, we just happen to be balancing on this front foot. Breathe in. Exhale, we're going to unwind it. Bring the hand down to the block, square out the hips. Let's bend left knee, bring it in for a nice rounded sensation. Foot to the floor. Let's just continue from here. Inhale, monkey pose, re-extend spine. Exhale, bent knees, hands to the mat, step back, plank pose. Come on down. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Other side. Inhale, left leg extends up. Bend and twist. Exhale to unwind, bring left foot to the top of the mat. Warrior 1, find that balance. Here it is, rising. Exhale, warrior 2. A little bit more distance between the feet if you'd like. Side angle pose. Just knowing that we're preparing for our half moon pose. That other balancing position.
Nice extension, good energy in the hands and arms as you reach in these opposite directions. Here we go, breathe in. Exhale, let's turn. Bring hands to the floor. I'm going to grab those blocks, bring them back in for walking sticks. So I can give myself a little push to rise up to balance on left foot. Good extension through spine. So it's kind of a warrior 3 that gets us ready for our half moon. Flex that lifted foot. Flex right foot. Flex, lift. As the hips open, you start to turn sideways. It's okay if you don't turn all the way sideways. And just take your right arm up into the air. Now at the moment, I'm looking down at the floor. Doing so just helps with balance. You can challenge that balance by looking to the right side. Challenge it more by looking up at your right hand. Really activate that right foot, keeping the leg muscles flexed. Breathe in. Exhale, let's unwind it or bring that right hand back down to the block. Square out the hips, bend right knee, bring it in towards chest, rounded spine, foot to the floor. Let's lean back into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive, coming all the way back up, reach and stretch. Exhale, hands to your heart. Very nice. All right, once again, shake all of that out if you'd like. Knees, even some circling in the hips. Good. All righty. Now, we're going to start this particular sequence with tree pose, and it's going to step back into a lunge. Here we go. All right. Standing tall, mountain pose. Your arms can be down by your side. Start shifting weight into your right foot. Root down. Long spine, breath rising to fill up your lungs, core engaged. We're lifting left foot. We're swinging the knee out to the side, placing foot on the inside of the standing leg. When you're ready, sweep your arms into the air, reach. Big stretch. Breathe in. As we exhale, swing that left knee forward. Follow me. We're lifting the left knee with the flexed foot. Stay there. Bend the right knee, the leg you're standing on. Just bend the knee so you can tip over a little bit. Angled upper body. Keep extending out through those arms, but extend the left leg back. Straight leg. Bend the right knee enough so you can bring those toes to the floor. Now you're in a high lunge. Now you're going to bring the hands to the floor here. Follow me. Pressing hands on the floor, sweep the right leg back and up into the air until you're in down dog, leg extended. You're going to bend that knee, but come down and bring that knee to the floor, directly underneath the hip. We're ready for spinal balance here. Just lift that left foot, not too high. Extend right arm forward. Reach. Good extension, spinal balance. Breathe in. Exhale, let's bring the hand back down to the floor. Let's bring the knee to the floor here next to it and do a quick series cat and cow. Let's return to downward facing dog. So you just return to cat pose, rounded spine. You can even step the hands forward a little bit, curl your toes, lift knees and hips. You'll be in down dog. With an exhale, walk, step, or hop both feet. Return to the top of the mat. Inhale, extend spine. Exhale, fold. Let's reverse the swan dive. Come to standing. Reaching into the air. Exhale. Hands to your heart. All right, how'd you do? All right, let's do the other side. So it starts with tree pose. It guides us into a high lunge, into that the spinal balance. We start with our arms down by our side. Start shifting weight into the left foot. Long spine lifted, core engaged. As you exhale, let's flip the right foot up. We'll swing the knee out to the side, plug it into the standing leg. And when you're ready, extend your arms into the air, reach. Breathe in to reach higher. As we exhale, we'll swing the right knee forward, lifting knee with the flexed foot. Stay there. Bend the left knee, and then tip over a bit, about 45 degrees.
Keep extending out through the arms. Extend the right leg back. Long, straight leg. Bend the left knee more. Set the toes onto the floor behind you. And you'll rise up until your torso is perpendicular to the floor. There's our high lunge. Breathe in. Exhale, fold. Bring your hands to the mat. Sweep the left foot back and up. Downward facing dog. Reach. Bend that left knee, but bring it down to the floor so it ends up directly underneath your hip. Ready for spinal balance. So just simply extend the right leg up into the air. Remember, not too high. Keep it low, even lower than the hip. You might even feel the back round a little bit so you can keep that core engagement. Go ahead and extend your left arm forward. Reach, spinal balance. Don't forget to hug inward for the extra stability of the body. Breathe in. Exhale, let's bring the hand and knee back down to the floor. And finish here with a series of cat and cow. Very nice. Let's take a seat back and sit off to the side. We need to add another pose. We're going to add a back bend. So you're going to swing the legs around to the front, sit in the center of your mat, and roll down onto your back here. Lying on your back with your knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Let everything just soften for a moment. We're going to prepare for a bridge pose, just a back bend. When you're ready, a nice full breath in to fill up your lungs. Exhale, engaging the belly. Feel your low back press down into the floor. Then press feet firmly into the ground and lift your hips up into the air. No need to lift too high unless you'd like to. You can even slide a block underneath you for a little extra stability. You can even use your arms. I like to bend the elbows here at 90 degrees. Press down firmly into the floor to lift hips a little higher and to expand in the chest. I like to make some adjustments here. I usually take my feet a little bit wider, like so. It just gives me a little bit more space in my low back and my hips, so I can lift a little higher. And with the upper body, getting the shoulders a little bit underneath, squeezing shoulder blades together, engaging, and I get a little bit more height, a little bit more opening in this back bend. Couple more breaths. This is a very active position. The arms are pressing into the floor, shoulder blades are squeezing together, feet are firmly planted into the ground, core engagement. So there's a good exhale, a tilted pelvis here to keep the low back spacious and keep the low belly active. And wiggle the toes forward, extend the arms up into the air, making space so you can roll back down to the mat. Let's extend the legs out front, reach the arms back behind you. Just a little lengthening in the body. All right, let's bring knees to chest. Start to gently rock forward and back with a good exhale. Rock your way up to seated and come to boat pose. You're going to lean back a little bit so you can lift your feet easily. Flex your feet so the legs stay active. Hold on to the backs of your legs here, so you can really extend your spine. You're going to feel yourself lift straight up, but you're at an angle, but a nice long spine. Deep breath, so the inhale really fills up the lungs. Exhaling to engage the belly. You can even release if you want to, or still hold on. Nice core engagement. Breathe in. And the exhale, cross legs, hands in front or even to the side, so you can step the feet back into plank pose. Hold here for a few seconds so you can still feel the core engagement. Let's bring the knees back down to the mat. Let's go back to our spinal balance. Inhale, lift head and heart, arch in the back. We're doing cow and cat again. Exhale, round it out. Here's cat. This helps prepare for our spinal balance. Hold cat. Still breathe, but engage belly. Shifting weight over to the right side. Extending left leg back. A bit of a lift. Then extend right arm forward. Really reach. Lengthen through the neck. Get as long as possible. Remember, you're squeezing to center line. We're going to add another bit here, a little bit of a back bend. Bend the left knee. Bring that foot up into the air. As you're able, bring the right arm around back, and maybe you can catch hold of the foot or ankle or toes. If not, just reach for the air like this. If you can grab hold, you want to lift the foot up into the air, look forward, heart forward. One more deep breath. Slowly, carefully release. Return to the extended spine. Bring the limbs back down.
Alrighty, another dynamic pose there. Sit back for a moment in our hero pose so you can rest those wrists. Alrighty. One nickname for that posture with holding on behind you there is tiger pose. Alrighty, let's do the other side. Back out to hands and knees. We'll prepare with cow. Inhale. And exhale into cat. Hold it. Shifting weight over to the left side. Extend the right leg back. Lift the foot. Extend the left arm. Reach. Find that good extension. We're also getting extension and space in the back. Then bend right knee. Bring the left arm around back. Catch the air. Or touch a heel. Or grab hold. You can stay just like this. Maybe that's the end of the pose for you. Or lift that foot up into the air. Send your heart forward as you look forward. I'm still squeezing to center line so I can maintain this balance. One more breath. Softening, releasing, re-extending. Limbs to the floor. Sit back, rest those wrists. I like to do this too. Even pressing the hands into the floor, just gently here. Good. All right, back to downward facing dog. Breathe in. Exhale, bend knees, walk, step, or hop, both feet. Return to the top of the mat, extending the spine. Exhale, fold. Weights in the heels, good bend to the knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Come to standing, reaching into the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's take a few deep breaths here. Even let your arms come back down by your side. If your wrists are still a little sensitive, give them a little circle there. Shake out those shoulders. All right, big sequence coming up. Let me just kind of name some of the poses. It'll start in tree pose. From tree, it'll take us to warrior 3. Then half moon. I'm going to throw in a little surprise in half moon. And then from our half moon into a warrior 2 reversed warrior pose. And I'll guide you through the rest, okay? It's a lot of balancing work. Okay, here we go. Let's start in mountain pose. Remember, we're starting in tree. Listen carefully and follow along carefully because there's going to be a little bit of a switch up near the end. Arms down by your side. Just catch your breath. Here we go. Start shifting weight into your right foot. Root down. Tall upper body. Exhaling. Let's lift that left foot. Swing the knee out to the side. Plug it in. Here's our tree pose. Extending the arms into the air. Reach. Exhale to connect. Find your posture. Hold it. All right, here we go. Let's swing the left knee forward, lift knee with the flexed foot, bend right knee. Start to hinge forward. Keep extending out through the arms, extend the left leg, and then just come to parallel like so. Here's our warrior 3. Don't forget, you've got those blocks to use. You've got your thigh to use to help you extend and balance. Now bring your right hand down to this block. You can even bring it in if it's too far away. Flex that left foot into the air. Lift. Open up sideways. You can keep your focus down. Again, that helps with balance. Reaching. Opening through the body. Here's the add-on. Bend the left knee. Bring the left hand down behind you. Catch the air. Touch the heel if possible. Or grab hold. It's another back bend. And just, I'm just expanding through the heart space.
Let's release, re-extend. Bend the right knee, the leg you're standing on. So you can bring the left foot down to the floor. Warrior 2. Reverse your warrior. Reaching into the air. We're in a windmill. Bring the hands down to the floor. Take the right leg up into the air behind you, down dog. Now bring that right knee to the ground. Spinal balance. Lift the left foot. Extend right arm. Reach, right arm. And let's go for that back bend again. Bend the knee, reach back, catch the air, touch the foot, or grab hold. There's our back bend or tiger pose. Re-extend. All right. Listen carefully. Bring the right hand back down to the floor. Curl your toes of the right foot. Push away, lifting that knee. The left leg will be up into the air. Left foot to the top of the mat. Come to a high lunge. Shifting the weight forward, hinging forward about 45 degrees. Shifting weight into this left foot so you can pick up that back foot, bend the knee. Bring the knee forward and up and swing that knee out to the side. You'll be in tree pose, other side. We're ready for the other side. Here we go. Swing the right knee forward, lifting knee, flex foot, warrior 3. Bend the left knee. Start to hinge and extend. Use those blocks. Use the leg if you need to. Let's bring left hand down to the block. Flex the right foot. Lift it. Open it up. As best as you can. Remember, you don't have to open up all the way. Let's go for that back bend. Bend the right knee. Reach back. Catch hold if you can. Create a little bit of a back bend. Opening up. This is a nice stretch and release through the hip flexor, belly, and chest. Let's release, re-extend, half moon. Bend the left knee so you can bring the right foot down to the floor. Warrior 2, reverse your warrior. Windmill, bring the hands back down to the floor in front. Down dog, left leg sweeps back and up into the air, reach. Bend the knees to bring the knee to the ground. Spinal balance. Right leg extends, left arm extends. Tiger pose. Releasing. Re-extending. Left hand to the floor, curl the toes of the left foot. Push away to down dog, right leg back up into the air. Right foot to the top of the mat. High lunge. Hinge forward about 45 degrees. Shifting the weight forward into the right foot. Just step the left foot forward until we're in chair pose. Stand up tall, reach for the sky. Exhale, hands down to your heart. Shake it out. Guess what? We're going to go through it all again. Picking up the pace just a little bit. But remember to go at your own pace. Just moving, flow with the breath. Move with your body. Just do as best as you can. All right, here we go. Same sequence. Starting with tree pose. Right foot stays on the floor. Let's lift the left foot, swing it out to the side, plug it in. Let's extend the arms up into the air. Reach. Let's swing that left knee forward, lift knee, flex foot. Bend the right knee. Warrior 3, extending the leg back, extending the arms. Reach. We're going to bring the right hand down to the block, flex the left foot so we can lift it and open up sideways. And the left arm up into the air. Go for the back bend. Release, half moon, warrior 2. Bring left foot down, reverse your warrior. Reach, windmill, bring the hands back down to the floor. Step back, down dog, right leg up into the air. Right knee to the floor. Spinal balance, lift left foot, extend left arm, reach. Take that back bend. Releasing back into the extended body. Down dog, right hand to the floor, curl toes, lifting back up into the air, left foot into the air, left foot now to the top of the mat, high lunge. Back to tree pose. Hinge forward. On the other side. Shifting weight forward into left foot. Pick up the right foot. Bend the knee. Bring it forward. Stand tall. Bring that knee forward. Swing that knee out to the side. Plug it in. There you are. Tree pose. Ready to continue into warrior 3. Swing knee forward. Lifting knee. Flex foot. Bend the left knee. Kick back. Extend the arms forward. Warrior 3. Nice extension. Catch this left block with left hand. Flex right foot, lift it up into the air, turn sideways. Open. Back bend. Release, re-extend, half moon. Warrior 2. Reverse the warrior, reach. Big windmill, bringing hands down to the floor. Stepping back, down dog, left leg extending up into the sky. Bring this left knee to the floor. Spinal balance, right leg extends back, left arm forward. Get that extension. Then your tiger pose, back bend. Let's release. Down dog, just the left hand to the floor, curl toes. Lifting back up, right leg into the sky, right foot to the top of the mat. High lunge. Hinge forward. Chair, shifting weight forward. Step into our chair pose. Standing up tall, reach for the sky. Let's keep it moving. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, monkey pose. Exhale, fold, hands to the floor. Step back, plank pose, come down. Chaturanga Dandasana. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Hold for a breath or two. We're taking a seat in a moment. You can hop forward, cross your legs, take the seat, like so. Find the center of your mat. Let's go ahead and return down to the back. Take a few moments here. If you're a little out of breath like I am, that's perfectly fine. Just take a moment to let it all release, let it go. Let's go ahead and bring knees to chest like so. I like to circle the knees. Just like this, just to get into the low back a little bit. Both directions. Gets into the back and hips. Since we're doing some back bends, along with some of those dynamic balancing poses, this should feel pretty good. And even some rocking, left and right, forward and back. You might even find a little bit more roundedness in the back, like so. It's like just giving yourself a massage. So just move any way that feels good for you here. Let's take the legs straight up into the air. And just arms down by your side. Since some of our work was involving hamstrings, with all that balancing, let's just take kind of an inverted variation of the pose. This can certainly take the place of something like shoulder stand, which you're certainly welcome to do. I'm just going to keep it simple since we're coming to the end of the practice and just extend the legs up like so. Another variation which I'll just quickly show you, which can feel quite nice too, is to use a block. Lift your hips like you're doing bridge and slide that block underneath you like this. And basically just elevates your body a little bit as you extend the legs into the air. It might even feel quite good. Just a couple more breaths. Go ahead and bend your knees. We'll set the feet back down onto the floor if you're using a block. We'll set that to the side. And come on down. Go ahead and bring knees to chest again. Let's take happy baby pose. Taking the knees a little wider. We'll grab hold of the bottoms of the feet if you can reach them, or even your ankles. Keeping the knees bent. Press down gently, feeling like the knees are moving down towards the floor on either side of your body. You can even add a little rocking sensation to this as well. Again, it gets into the hips, inner thighs, your low back. And even just take a quick notice of your breath again. Maybe you're not out of breath anymore. Now you're able to come back to the deeper cleansing breaths. Let's bring the soles of the feet together. Let's grab hold of the ankles or hold on to the feet for this variation of reclining cobbler's pose, just for a moment. Feel the heels press down towards your pelvis, the knees push forward. And you can take this more relaxed version of the posture by keeping the soles of the feet together and just set the feet onto the floor. Knees are still bent and open out to the side. You can really allow the body to relax here. And as you're doing so and settling into the ground, this is another good opportunity to return to your intention. If you set an intention at the beginning of your practice, return to that space. Return to that thought. We focused on balance today. It was a very dynamic practice, really challenging our balance. And often our balance just in regular life gets challenged. But you found ways, you tapped into your own strength, your breath, your own talents and gifts that you possess, and used all of those, all wrapped into one, to help you maintain and get through those challenging moments, those moments that challenged your balance. 2 more breaths. When you're ready, you can bring the knees together, hug the knees in towards your body. Let's take a quick twist. We'll start by taking the knees over to the left side. Extend your right arm to the right side. Just holding. So again, that return to what balance means to you, especially today. Breaths. And whenever you're ready, just slowly returning to center. And just pause there for a second. We'll take the knees down to the other side, taking our spinal twist. And 2 more breaths. When you're ready to return to center, go ahead and extend the legs straight out in front of you. Arms down by your side. Take a nice full breath in. And a complete exhale as you feel your entire body soften and just melt into the earth. Here we are, we've made it to Shavasana, so take your time here, as much time as you need. If your mind begins to wander, just notice if it did. And just return to your breath. You might just take a deep breath in and out. Just return to this moment. Just stay fully aware and connected. Hold for a few more breaths. Whenever you're ready to move, and again, there's no rush to move, first just start with the breath. Take slow, deep breaths and feel the breath move through your entire body. And allow that breath to bring movement back into your body. You might just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, move your hands, move your feet.
And again, just feeling that movement return to your entire body. And when you're able, carefully and slowly rising, you might come to a comfortable seated position. You can cross your legs or extend your legs, whatever feels good. You just let your arms and hands rest in your lap, or bring hands to heart center. Take one more full breath in and out. Hold for a moment in stillness, breathe gently. And as we complete our practice together, we bow,